Savitri, Book 7, The Book of Yoga, Canto 6, Nirvana and the Discovery of the All-Negating Absolute. A calm, slow sun looked down from tranquil heavens. A routed, sullen rearguard of retreat. The last rains had fled, murmuring across the woods, or failed, a sibilant whisper mid the leaves. And the great blue enchantment of the sky recovered the deep rapture of its smile. Its mellow splendor, unstressed by storm-licked heats, found room for a luxury of warm, mild days. The night's gold treasure of autumnal moons came floating, shipped through ripples of fairy air. And Savitri's life was glad, fulfilled like Earth's. She had found herself. She knew her being's aim. Although her kingdom of marvelous change within remained unspoken in her secret breast, all that lived round her felt its magic charm. The trees' rustling voices told it to the winds. Flowers spoke in ardent hues and unknown joy. The birds caroling became a canticle. The beasts forgot their strife and lived at ease. Absorbed in wide communion with the unseen, the mild ascetics of the wood received a sudden greatening of their lonely muse. This bright perfection of her inner state poured overflowing into her outward scene, made beautiful, dull, common, natural things, and action wonderful, and time divine. Even the smallest, meanest work became a sweet or glad and glorious sacrament, an offering to the self of the great world, or a service to the one in each and all. A light invaded all from her being's light. Her heartbeat's dance communicated bliss. Happiness grew happier, shared with her by her touch, and grief some solace found when she drew near. Above the cherished head of Satyavan, she saw not now fate's dark and lethal orb, a golden circle round a mystic sun, disclosed to her newborn predicting sight the cyclic rondure of a sovereign life. In her visions and deep-etched veridical dreams, in brief shiftings of the future's heavy screen, he lay not by a dolorous decree, a victim in the dismal antre of death, or borne to blissful regions far from her, forgetting the sweetness of earth's warm delight, forgetting the passionate oneness of love's clasp, absolved in the self-wrapped immortal's bliss. Always he was with her, a living soul that met her eyes with close, enamored eyes, a living body near to her body's joy. But now no longer in these great wild woods, in kinship with the days of bird and beast, and leveled to the bareness of earth's brown breast. But mid the thinking high-built lives of men, in tapestried chambers and on crystal floors, in armored town or gardened pleasure walks, even in distance, closer than her thoughts. Body to body near, soul near to soul, moving as if by a common breath and will. They were tied in the single circling of their days together by love's unseen atmosphere, inseparable like the earth and sky. Thus, for a while, she trod the golden path. This was the sun before abysmal night. Once, as she sat in deep, felicitous muse, still quivering from her lover's strong embrace, and made her joy a bridge twixt earth and heaven, an abyss yawned suddenly beneath her heart, a vast and nameless fear dragged at her nerves, as drags a wild beast its half-slaughtered prey. It seemed to have no den from which it sprang. It was not hers, but hid its unseen cause. Then rushing came its vast and fearful fount, a formless dread, with shapeless, endless wings, filling the universe with its dangerous breath, a denser darkness than the night could bear, enveloped the heavens and possessed the earth. A rolling surge of silent death it came, curving round the far edge of the quaking globe. Effacing heaven with its enormous stride, it willed to expunge the choked and anguished air and end the fable of the joy of life. It seemed her very being to forbid, abolishing all by which her nature lived, and labored to blot out her body and soul, a clutch of some half-seen, invisible, an ocean of terror and of sovereign might, a person and a black infinity. It seemed to cry to her, without thought or word, the message of its dark eternity and the awful meaning of its silences. Out of some sullen, monstrous, vast arisen, out of an abysmal deep of grief and fear, imagined by some blind, regardless self, a consciousness of being without its joy, empty of thought, incapable of bliss, that felt life blank and nowhere found a soul, a voice to the dumb anguish of the heart, conveyed a stark sense of unspoken words. In her own depths, she heard the unuttered thought that made unreal the world and all life meant.